Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all my pupils. I hope all of you are ready to get back to class after a 1 week holiday. So how do you do? I hope you are doing well at home. So without further ado, can you please turn to page 117 of your textbook. Today we are going to learn how to write a letter of giving advice. Surat memberi nasihat. So, before we do our writing task, let's take a look at the discussion questions. On page 117. Question number 1. Do you read advice columns in magazines? Why or why not? Adakah anda membaca ruangan nasihat di majalah ataupun akhbar? Kenapa ataupun kenapa tidak? If you answer yes, yes, I do because I find them interesting and sometimes even get answers for similar problems to mine. Or if you answer no, I don't because I'm not interested in other people's problems or the problems discussed are not serious. So if we were in a classroom, I would ask you this kind of questions, and demand you to answer, one after another, one by one. But since we are in PDP-Art, I just read the questions and give you the answers. Question number 2. Do you think the advice they give is useful? Adakah kamu fikir nasihat yang mereka berikan berguna? Why or why not? I think it is useful because they sometimes give you ideas that you haven't thought of or tell you about places and people you can go to for more professional help. But if you say no, I don't think it is useful because the person answering does not know you as a person and the advice she gives is too general. So those are the reasons. Now we move on to part B. Read the letter below, which a girl wrote to an advice column of a magazine. What advice would you give her? We read it briefly. Dear Agnes, I need some advice. I've got exams coming up, and for the past few weeks, I've been feeling overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means jiwa kacau. Tidak tenteram. I'm worried I'm going to fail. I have so much homework and revision to do every night, as well as my hobbies such as tennis and volleyball, that I feel like I'm not doing anything as well as I should. Terlalu banyak exam semakin dekat, tetapi kerja sekolah pun banyak, ulang kaji pun tidak sempat buat, dan dia juga terlibat dengan hobi sukan iaitu bola tampar dan tenis. My cousin's at another school. My cousin is at another school, and during the exam period, she is not given any homework. So she is quite lucky. Her cousin is quite lucky. It is so unfair. Also, my mom says I should give up my hobbies until after the exams, but I don't want to do this. Mak suruh berhenti bersukan sementara exam habis, tapi saya tidak mahu melakukannya. How can I find time for everything without feeling like I'm not doing my best? Bagaimanakah saya hendak mencari masa untuk semua perkara tanpa merasa saya tidak membuat apa-apa? Trouble in Bogor. Bogor is in Indonesia. So let's read the answers given, by Agnes to this trouble girl. Dear Trouble, I understand how you feel. Trying to find time for your homework and hobbies can make you feel anxious. Anxious means bimbang, and exhausted. Exhausted means tired, letih. Here are some tips to help you deal with your problem. Ada beberapa tips untuk membantu anda menangani masalah ini. First of all, try to reassure, yakinkan your mother that you can cope. Cope means boleh mengharunginya, membuatnya, menghadapinya. Okay, as you obviously don't want to fail out with her, I suggest meeting halfway. Meeting halfway means ambil jalan tengah. Okay, how about cutting down on the time spent on your hobbies without stopping them completely? Kurangkan masa untuk hobi, tapi janganlah berhenti sepenuhnya. It is also likely that your friends feel the same as you. So I advise meeting after school so you can all help each other. Jumpa kawan selepas sekolah untuk membantu satu sama lain. You could go to a different friend's house each day and study one subject each time. Okay, pergi ke rumah kawan untuk belajar setiap hari. Being able to study with your friends will help you feel better and more supported. Belajar dengan kawan membuatkan anda merasa lebih baik dan ada sokongan. I hope my advice will be of some help. Doing a lot at once can be challenging. Buat semua perkara pada satu masa amatlah mencabar. But the positive thing is that the more you do it, the easier it become. Makin banyak kamu buat, makin mudah ia jadi. In any case, university isn't far away. Tak lama lagi nak masuk U. So this experience now will make life less stressful in the future. Pengalaman sekarang akan membuatkan kamu lebih kurang tertekan pada masa akan datang. Good luck. So that is the answer. Okay, now let's take a look at the writing task here. Okay, D. Read this letter that Afan wrote to an advice column of a magazine and write back to him giving advice. So this time around, you have to write a response to this boy and you need to give him some advice. So you need to write in about 150 words. Okay, not too long. Okay, just a short one as long as the ideas are there. Okay, let's read this letter by Afan. My problem is that since I got a part-time job, semenjak saya buat kerja part-time, I've stopped working out at the gym. Berhenti tu buat latihan senaman di gym. As a result, I've gained 10 kilos. 10 kilo naik berat badan. Besides the fact that my clothes don't fit me anymore, I feel very self-conscious. Saya ni peka dengan perubahan diri saya. Okay, baju tak muat, semua sekali bimbang. I've always been sensitive about my weight because I take after my dad. Saya takut saya ni menurun bapa saya yang gemuk juga. And I tend to be on the heavy side. Saya ni berkemungkinan besar akan montel, gemuk. While surfing the net, I found a great raw food diet. Diet makanan mentah, which includes lots of vegetables and fruits and promises result, dan menjanjikan hasil yang berkesan. But when I told my mom about it, she told me to forget it. Lupakan saja, mak suruh lupakan saja. She says I need 3 balanced meals a day. Tiga makanan yang seimbang setiap hari, and refuses to let me cut out meat and carbohydrate, dan melarang saya mengurangkan daging dan karbohidrat like rice, okay, and bread. I feel helpless. Saya rasa tak boleh ditolong lagi, and don't know who to turn to for advice. Saya tak tahu nak berjumpa siapa untuk mendapatkan nasihat. I really appreciate your help. Saya sangat menghargai bantuan anda. Afan from Ipoh. Okay, so you need to plan your letter. When writing a letter giving advice, follow the plan below. Bila tulis surat nanti, ikut plan di bawah. First, greeting. Okay, use the person's first name or pseudonyms. Gunakan nama pertama orang itu ataupun nama samaran. Dia Afan. Okay, opening paragraph. Refer to the problem in your first paragraph. Okay, refer to the problem, rujuk masalah apa yang dihadapi, and say why you are writing. Dan tuliskan mengapa anda menulis. Use phrases like, gunakan frasa seperti I'm sorry to hear that you've got problems. I understand what you're going through, apa yang awak sedang hadapi. I hope the following advice will help you. Harap nasihat ini akan membantu anda. I've given your problem a lot of thought and I've come up with a solution. So this phrase sounds better and longer. Here are some tips to help you deal with your problem. So can use these sentences, okay, to help you, okay, when writing a letter of giving advice. Okay, main part, bahagian utama, one to two paragraph, 1 hingga 2 perenggan sahaja. Okay, in the first paragraph of the main part, okay, you need to give your advice and make suggestion. Use phrases like berikan nasihat dan cadangan, buat cadangan, dan gunakan frasa seperti if I were in your shoes, I would. Sekiranya saya berada di tempat anda, saya akan. I would. I apostrophe D is the contraction for I would. Saya akan. Maybe you should or shouldn't. Mungkin awak perlu ataupun tidak perlu. I strongly advise you to eat less. How about or what about, okay, eating supplements, taking supplements. One thing you can do is, okay, to go back to your gym and exercise every day. Okay, closing paragraph. Make a final comment. Buat satu komen terakhir, as you can see in this sample answer. Tengok pada contoh yang diberikan ni. Use phrases like I hope everything goes well, good luck, let me know how everything turns out, I'm sure you will work something out, there's no need to panic. Tak perlu panik, you will get over it. Kamu akan berjaya. I hope I've been of some help to you. So you can use these phrases to end your letter. And finally, signing off. Sign. Use a signature ending and your first name below that. Gunakan tanda tangan anda. Okay. Best wishes. Signature. And write down your names below your signature. Okay. Ahmad, for example. Okay, next one. When writing a letter giving advice, address the person you are writing in a friendly way and use informal language. Gunakan bahasa santai, bahasa tidak rasmi. Hendaklah mesra, okay, ramah. Make various suggestions to help solve the problem. Buat beberapa cadangan untuk membantu menyelesaikan masalah. Start a new paragraph for every major point. Setiap perenggan baru hendaklah mempersembahkan isi yang penting. Setiap isi penting. Use appropriate expressions to give advice and make suggestions. So you can use the phrases given in the plan. And lastly, use linking words or phrases to list the different point. Gunakan kata penghubung, okay, untuk menyaraikan beberapa point. Okay, next, okay, on top of that, besides, okay, furthermore, moreover, so on and so forth. So I think that's all for now. Have a nice day, and okay, I hope more students will write and submit, okay, their work. So that's all. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.